Hey guys, I am not going to be here during your period, so I am making you a video. You'll be in, well, you are in at this point probably Coach Zimmerman's class. I wanted to show you the answers for yesterday's assignment so you could check for mastery. So you can pause this as needed. Remember, when you're checking, make sure you have the correct type of line graphed, either solid or dotted. Also, make sure that your lines are crossing at the right point on the y-axis and approximately at the correct point on the x-axis. Also, make sure that your lines are intersecting in approximately the same place as the graphs. Remember, graphing is not as exact, something we can do well by hand exactly, but your graphs should look like this. Two solid lines intersect approximately in this point, intersect at the 2 and -2 on the y-axis. And this is the part should be darkened. Yours should have shading here and here, but the part that's shaded here should be the part that's darkened on your graph. So all of these are already solved for y, so they were pretty straightforward. You did not have to isolate y before you graphed in any of these. Here are the answers for the next four. And I can't remember which one of these we solved, but we solved one of these on our homework during class yesterday. So make sure that you've solved number 7. I can't remember if it was number 7 we did. Make sure you solve this inequality. It should be y is less than -4x plus 2. So that was your first inequality here. And your inequalities here should be 3x plus. So this is the first one. You should have isolated y, 3x plus 2. Y is greater than or equal to -2. Minus 2. Divide both sides, all parts by 2. So y is greater than or equal to -3/2 x minus 1. So that's your first inequality for number 8. And for number 2, your second inequality here, before you graph, you have to solve for y. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Subtract x, so we have 2y is less than or equal to the opposite of x plus 2. Divide everything by 2, and so that's y is less than or equal to, remember, if you don't see that, that's a -1, so we're going to rewrite that as -1/2 x plus 1. So that's what your second inequality should look like. You can see that this inequality has a y-intercept of -1, and you can see this line intersects at -1. This inequality, once it's solved for y, has a y-intercept of +1, and you can see that's where the other line intersects. Okay, I'm going to go through and I'm going to work the even problems for your homework. You have to do all of them, but I'm going to do the even ones with you. So let's go ahead and start with number 2. Number 2 are two special lines. Remember, we learned Hoy and Bucks, right? A y-only equation is a horizontal line. An x-only equation is a vertical line. So that's all we're going to do. A horizontal line here through 2, +2 on the y-axis. It's a dotted line because there's no line underneath it. So there's going to be a line here. And then it's greater than, so this one gets shaded up. Oops. Shaded up. Alright, so Bucks vertical line through -2 on the x-axis. So -2, this is the x-axis here, so -2, that's also a dotted line. So we are going to go ahead and draw a vertical dotted line there. Now, which way does this one get graphed or shaded? It's less than, so the numbers that are less than -2 on the coordinate plane are going to be to the left. So you'll see that the parts that overlap are right here. So you should have all the shading on your graph, but this is the part you should darken. All right, number 4. Let's see, do I want to do number 4? You only have 9, and I just did one of your verticals. I don't think I'm going to do number 4. I'm going to do, all right, I'll do number 4. I'll stick with the evens. X is less than 2, or that's X, it's a vertical line through +2 on the x-axis. It is a dotted line because there's no line underneath. It is shaded to the left. The numbers less than 2 are all to the left. So we're going to shade this way. Alright, and now the other line is not solved for y. So number 4, this is the work for number 4. Y minus x is less than or equal to 2. We're going to add x to both sides. Y is less than or equal to x plus 2. So now, our second inequality here, y-intercept of +2 on the y-axis, origin 1, 2, and then it has a slope of 1. So 1 over 1, or -1 over -1. So we're going to do both. Up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. We're going to do that all the way off. And now we go down and to the left. Down and to the left, down 1 to the left, down 1 to the left, to get to the edge of our coordinate plane. Also, okay, so this one is not a dotted line, this one is a solid line. So we're going to draw a boundary. Remember, this is the boundary, oh, that's a dotted. The line is not the solution to this. The line is a boundary for our range of solutions. Alright, and this one is less than, so we're shading, put your pencil on the line and shade down. So the part where these graphs overlap is this part here. Alrighty, number 6, we're going to go ahead and do that. Remember, any of the points on this line from here down are included in the solution. Any of the points on this dotted line from here down are not points that are included in the solution. Alright, 2, 4, 6. We're going to do number 6. I'm going to show our work out here. So the first equation for number 6, y minus x, and we're going to solve everything for y before we start graphing, is greater than 4. Add x to both sides. Y is greater than x plus 4. So let's go ahead and graph this inequality. Y-intercept of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we use our slope and rise over run. So that's 1 over 1, or -1 over -1. So up 1 to the right 1. Oh, I can only do that one time. But now I can do down and to the left. Down 1 to the left 1. Down 1 to the left 1. Down 1 to the left 1. And our first inequality is a dotted line. In fact, they both are. We know they're dotted lines because there's no or equal to underneath that inequality symbol. Alright, my dotted line is kind of hard to tell it's dotted, but it is dotted. Alright, and this one gets shaded. Remember, you look at the inequality after you solve for y, that gets shaded up. Pencil on the line and pull up, because there's a lot to ups part. This looks up too, right? But we're above this line. Now the second inequality for this problem, x plus y is greater than 2. We're going to subtract x from both sides this time, and that's y is greater than the opposite of x plus 2. Having a hard time reading my handwriting there. That is, I was subtracting x there. There we go, a little clearer. So now our y-intercept is 2. I'm going to change my color. Our y-intercept is positive 2 again. Oh, sorry, positive 2 this time. 1, 2. And my slope now is negative 1. So we can put that over 1. Or remember, we can swap that negative sign. It could also be positive 1 over negative 1, depending on what we need. It looks like we're going to need both of those. So we're going to go up 1, sorry, down 1, and to the right 1, down 1, to the right 1, all the way off our coordinate plane. Our slope is negative, so it makes sense. Our points are going down from left to right. Now we're going to use this form of our slope. We're going to go up 1 and to the left 1. Up 1 and to the left 1, up 1 to the left 1. And also a dotted line. And this time we're shading up as well. So I'm going to shade up here. Put your pencil on the line and shade up. So you should have all the shading, but you should have the parts where the shading overlaps darkened. So this little section is the only part that represents solutions. Alright, and last but not least, we're going to do number 8. As luck would have it, number 8's already, both of those inequalities are solved for y already. So we're going to go ahead and graph the first inequality. So y-intercept of positive 2. So for number 1 on 8, the slope is negative 1. We put that over 1. Or positive 1 over negative 1, depending on what we need. So we're going to use this version first. Down 1 to the right 1, all the way across the coordinate plane. And then we're going to go up 1 to the left 1, all the way across the coordinate plane until we get to the edge. This first inequality is a solid line because of that line there. That's what it tells us. And now this one we're shading up because remember, if you shade up, sorry, if this is a greater than or equal to, we're going to shade up. And then our second inequality for number 8, also already solved for y, as a y-intercept of negative 2, 1, 2, so we're plotting that. And then our slope for the second inequality of negative 2 is positive 2. We're going to put that over 1, up 2 to the right 1. We're going to do that all the way across our coordinate plane. We could also do negative 2 over negative 1, so we can go down and to the left one more. Now this one is a dotted line because there's no line underneath the inequality. So we're going to graph our boundary. I want my boundary color to match my points. So that is our boundary. And in this case it gets shaded down. So I'm going to do green shading down. Remember, put your pencil on the line and pull down. So all of this should be shaded. And you can see that this is the part that overlaps, so make sure you darken that part in. Make sure you have your notes out when you're working on these by yourself. You should have your notes from yesterday out. And I will go ahead and pop those up here so you can see them in case you can't find yours. There it is. Alright, I'm going to uncover all these boxes so you can see all the steps. You should have these notes. These were your notes from yesterday. But just in case, these are the steps you will use to graph each inequality. And then remember, if it's a system of inequalities, then you just graph them both online on the same coordinate plane, and where they overlap is a solution. You have to finish the other 4 problems on your own, But all 8 problems are part of your assignment. I've done 4 of them for you. You're going to do, actually I guess you have 5 problems. Do we have 5 problems? Let's see. Oh. Nope. Nope. Alright, we're going to find it. There it is. Yeah, you have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. You'll have 5 problems. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 5 problems for you to work on. I'll see you tomorrow.